Hello guys, welcome to Zondo Diary. So today I want to talk about regarding those people that are considering coming to UK from Saudi Arabia, whether they should settle in Saudi Arabia or come over to UK. So having been to UK for quite some time now, though it's roughly 6 months, so I want to talk about my experience so far. And from my opinion, I think what we should know that in every country there is always the good and the bad. So there are some pros and cons regarding whichever migration you intend to go through. So that is it. It's not always green everywhere. So once we know that, we should be prepared for whatever that comes up. There's always a reason why people move. So you should consider your own reason for moving and then weigh the two and then know which will be better for you. So as regards Saudi Arabia and the UK, I will start with what I think is the pros of coming, that is the advantages of being in UK. First of all, as we all know, the working system, for those that have been in Saudi Arabia, the working system I will talk specifically for nurses, is a bit tough. Though I work in private establishment, I know those people that are working in government establishment, their story are not that so much different. So here in UK, there is a specification for your job, and you're expected to stick to whatever that is your specification, your job description. You don't do the work of a doctor, you stick directly to your work. I've been working in the operating room, so I noticed that there are lots of things we do in Saudi Arabia we don't do here. So for me, it's a pros. So another thing we need to know about coming to UK is bringing your family. Unlike in Saudi Arabia, you can't compare it. It's a bit easier, yeah. For instance, I was able to get my husband here within 3 months of being here. That is just because I needed to pass my OSCE. There are some people that don't wait until they pass their OSCE. They could just immediately come in. Some can even move with their husband at the same time. Once you get that sponsorship, you are moving with your family. So some do it's as fast as that. So which is not obtainable in Saudi Arabia. We know in Saudi Arabia, mostly you need to complete your first contract. For some of us that got there through agency, that is company contract or whatever. So after you sign your contract, it's expected that you complete your contract before you think of bringing your family, because there are so many other benefits you get in UK you don't get there. So that is why it's a bit difficult to get your family in Saudi Arabia that soon. So talking about professional growth, in UK, I noticed that the hospital most times sponsor their own to go to school. For instance, once you come here and you still have interest to further and do whatever specialty you want, the hospital, for my own experience, I don't know about other trusts, but my trust is willing to send people to school. So after you work, I think after 1 year, then you can declare your interest and they are ready to sponsor you. That is, and there are other professional growth that has been opened up for you, that you always have that opportunity to grow. So that is it for which I think is also a pros for UK. Then coming over to the system, how things work here, unlike in Saudi Arabia, since I've been in Saudi Arabia, I've never seen a bicycle. But in UK, just a normal thing for bicycle to move, that I even had to get one. So because it's a bit easy for you, you can always, there is always a specification. So in the road, they also include bicycle roads. So everyone is being included. They try as much as possible to make life easy for people here. So talking about that is it for that. Remember, as I've said earlier, there's professional growth. Apart from that, you can also own certain things here. If you are buoyant enough, you can own a house here. So once you follow the process, it's easier to hear. But in Saudi Arabia, those people that have been there for a very long time, I've never had anyone saying I've got it. But here, it's just normal thing. Once you're able to do it, you know the process, you're able to get a mortgage, it's very okay and easy here to do that. So talking about the cons, as I've said earlier, there's always the bad side of every part. Unlike in Saudi Arabia, in UK, you have to pay literally for everything. I would rather say it's a kind of culture shock, because in Saudi Arabia, what you needed is just to start your work. Once you start your work, my experience, you get a well-furnished house, you get your electricity, you don't pay for anything. Even your literally, you don't pay. What you just needed is just to park your road. So even remember, your salary is not being taxed in Saudi Arabia, but here you pay literally. When I mean literally, just sit. You pay up to the point that even the television you watch, you have to be paying for it if you be watching television. So you pay for your rent, which all these are not cheap. You pay for your rent, you pay for your electricity, you pay for your council tax, you pay for your water. As much as you use, you pay. So that is just a bit of shock for those coming from Saudi Arabia to here, because in Saudi Arabia, once you get your money is your money. But here in UK, your money is not your money until you have settled all your bills. They call it liability. Once you've settled everything, that is the time you will now know the amount left. So at the end of that, I will still tell you my opinion regarding every of it, because even at that, people are still coming to UK. So another shock, you might notice that the UK, they drive at the right. So if you are the one if you have been driving in Saudi Arabia or some other country, you might notice that here, where they have their steering in the car is on the right, which is not like that in other countries. I know Saudi Arabia, they drive left. Also my Nigeria country, we drive the left. So that is it. So though it seems not to be a bit, that's a little, but it's huge, especially the issue of payment of tax. So, but in my opinion, because I've been able to check the pros, it all depends on the capacity and what you want. Okay, one thing I forgot to say about the pros is that UK, they have free education for children. So from that, your child from that primary school or whichever grade you call it, here they call it there's a way they rate it, but for us, we call it from primary school to up to your secondary education or college is free. So the government pays for that. So you are not bothered about paying for the school fees of your children, and that is the #1 reason. And short, for most people, families that are here is their priority, just because of that child education. That is why they are here. So at the end of the day, #1, it depends on what you are coming here to do. As per people making it, yes, so many people are here very comfortable. You understand? So that is it. You have to consider all these things and weigh it and know what is okay for you. There are also people I know in Saudi Arabia, they have worked there for 20 years. Some of them said they are not there with their family. There are also some people that are there with their family. If you are Arabic, I think Saudi will favor you a lot. But if you are the English of English origin, or you are not Arabic, it might not be that easy for you, but it's still obtainable. So that is the much I could say regarding those people that are asking whether they coming to UK worth it, or it's better they just relax in Saudi Arabia, regarding some of the things that I've had so far about UK. So that is just it. If you should ask me, I would say come to UK. It's always good to test the other side of life. Yes, it's always good to test it. Yeah, because if you're in one place, you might know. Especially one thing I like about UK is that ability to advance and get other things. That is just it. You can, as much as you do overtime in Saudi Arabia, you also do overtime in UK. So depending on your trust, you get your pay. So that is another topic for another day, but just know that it's worth it. But after you've considered all that I've said and you think it's not still okay, the point that if you have loss or your family is that a bit large, it might not be so easy for you, especially starting, because you pay literally for everything. And you know now, when you have got a big family, a large family, they will have to consume a lot and you have to pay. So at the end of the day, it might not be easy for you and you might not be able to pay. The good thing that there's a credit system where you can get a credit card is also helpful. But the bad thing about it, that if you are not able to pay all that credit, at the end of the month, you also have interest. So that is just it, but people are surviving in UK. So I will encourage you, if you are considering it, it's still worth it. Oh, thank you so much for your audience. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm happy that you are following up. Thank you so much. I'll attend to any question you've got, or like or comment. Thank you for following. Bye.